You know, one of the most recognized and honestly best electronic music or dubstep music creators of all time is Camilla. Everyone knows Camilla's songs, either if you've played Osu, Geometry Dash, some sort of rhythm game. In Geometry Dash though, for some reason, it just feels like it's really hard to find an enjoyable experience with the Camilla song. I'm not saying any of these levels are bad, but they're either too hard or the most abysmal dog experiences you'll ever have in your life. Let's go through a bit of them and I'll give you my opinion on them. Ghoul by Zabti. This level's really cool. It has a really good song representation, but oh my god, this level is insane. Kawar by Viprin, yeah, no. No. Kawar by Floja, it's a little bit better than the other one, but still, Any percent isn't that bad. It's actually pretty easy, but it's the kind of learning I don't really like, and I like Awesome Me 360. Delta Interface. Delta Interface is, it's honestly the most boring level in the series, and Sigma Interface exists, and that level doesn't even have a drop. Cicada 3302, this level is so long, it's not too learny, but still, it's just way too long. Ocular Miracle, same thing here, but except the gameplay is learny, and this is hard as hell. Recrystallize, I beat this one, it's one of my favorite extremes, but even I will admit that it's too learny for how long it is. Oh no. Alright, in all seriousness though, hi everyone, it's me. Today we're going to be going through and playing Crystal by Zeronium. This level is very, very hard and very, very learny. This level presents itself as a click sync extreme, but most of the clicks don't sync, let's be real. Anyways, this level was made by popular YouTuber and player Zeronium. And I really do like when people who aren't known for create a level, even though I think that sometimes or most of the time it doesn't turn out that good. But if I recall correctly, this is still like his first rated level or first full solo level, so, you know, I'm not going to be way too hard on him. Anyways, this level's pretty high-end. It's remorseless tier, which means it's probably around top 300, 400, which means it's pretty damn hard. I'm not going to waste any more of your time, though. I'm going to get into the level and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to beat it. Like always, I'll be playing the level at 0.25 speed this time because I upgraded from 0.5 to 0.25 because I feel like it's easier to follow along if you do that. So the beginning of Crystal is not that hard. I usually say this about beginnings, but that's just because I really get consistent at beginnings a lot of the time, but the beginning of Crystal really isn't that bad. It's annoying at first, but when you get consistent with it, it's really not a problem. I will say this whenever I believe it's really necessary to do so, but right here, limit your clicks at the ship part. I would say only click on the portals. That's what I did, and it ended up working pretty fine because, you know, you don't need to click that much. But every time you're in a portal in that ship section, just click per portal. All right, and right here, right away at 15%, you're thrown right into the drop. The drop is by far the hardest part of the level, which makes sense because it takes up like 60% of the level, but still, it's a really hard section, especially because of the waves. The gameplay is in itself pretty linear, but it's still pretty annoying to play, especially when you don't fully learn the click pattern. So you really want to fully learn the click pattern, learn what clicks you can and can't buffer. But no, this gameplay in Crystal is very, very linear, so there's not going to be much for me to say about any like skips or other tips just because this level is just way too linear. I will say though, these vine things on the bottom that the cube portal is by, those aren't real spikes, so don't worry about trying to dodge them. This wave right here is really annoying, and it's one of the bigger choke points from Zero in my opinion, just because it doesn't look that hard when you're playing it in negative speed, but whenever you play this part from Zero, this wave feels really, really awkward. If you've ever played or beaten a level like Coretta with like a notable wave choke point, you'll know that when you play that level in practice or start positions, the wave that you're choking at might not feel that hard, but the moment you play from Zero, it becomes awkward and it's almost like it's a different wave. That's what happens a lot in this level. A lot of the waves just feel more different and awkward from Zero than in start positions. So I'd recommend practicing the waves a lot, but also not being shy when playing from Zero in this level, because playing from Zero in this level is very important. This is a level you definitely have to brute force, or else, you know, you won't have that much of you won't have that good of a time with it. This whole dual part right here is pretty click sync focused. It's one of the better click synced parts of the level, so don't be shy with click syncing at that duel. Oh, right here, the ship section. It looks pretty damn hard because of this last straight fly at the end, But if you just do this whole ship in 2 clicks, it becomes really consistent. You just want to time the second click a bit because the timing for it can be a bit inconsistent. Like if you see right there, I went low, but if I do something like this, I'll go pretty high and I'll end up hitting the top spikes. So yeah, you just want to make sure you're controlling very well what you do there. For this duel, just focus on the wave. That's all you really want to focus on. That spider really means nothing. And then right here at the ship part, control your clicks. All right, now this part, I would like to consider the second part of the drop. This is a really funny part to me because it's like the more slow CPS click sync part, but it still doesn't sync that well. But yeah, and like I'm saying for every ship section in this level, control your clicks because this straight fly right here looks really weird, but you can do it in 2 clicks or even 1. Yeah, you can do that in 1 click and then do another click there. I didn't even know that, but you can do that if you want. This wave right here is pretty annoying. It's not too bad like the other waves. It's actually one of the more tame waves in the level. You basically just want to click on the orbs that are like more opaque than the others. Right here, you can get away with doing 1 click here, 1 click here, 1 click here, holding, and then 1 click here, and then hit this late, and then 1 click there. If you can control your ship, these ships become really easy. I died to them a lot because when I was beating this level, I was really uncontrolled with my ships and it really sucked. And then this is the final ship section. Honestly, it's kind of better to be more uncontrolled at the ship section unless you find a good click pattern because it's more straight fly than actually like curving. But yeah, this is the last straight fly, which is, in my opinion, the last part of the level because this entire post drop right here is really, really easy. And if you can see by me playing it, it's not that bad at all. And then the last click right there. The last click is pretty damn hard. You're most likely to die there in the end if you're gonna die to any click. Anyways, yeah, that was Crystal. Crystal is an alright level. I wouldn't really recommend it to anybody unless they're into Zeronium's videos and a relatively high-end player, which is pretty uncommon. But yeah, no, this level's still pretty decent, I guess. I'll give my full opinion at the end of the level in my final thoughts section, but right now I'm just gonna say I don't recommend this level for most people. Anyways, yeah, that was Crystal. Yes, I beat Crystal! Oh my god! Fuck yeah! Oh my god! Finally, that took so fucking long! Power of Raylo. I think that's probably gonna be in the raw footage, me searching up Raylo. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, that was Crystal. It's actually been quite a while since I beat Crystal. I beat it all the way back in February, and now it's August, so, you know, it took me quite a bit to make this video. Anyways, overall, Crystal's a pretty average experience. I didn't think this level stood out in any department. The whole level just felt average at best. The only thing that really stands out in this level is the creator of the level, which is a top player YouTuber. We all know that. But yeah, just in terms of the stuff in the level in general, the decoration or the gameplay, nothing really stood out in this level, at least to me. Anyways, for being one of Zeronium's like first finished levels, it's pretty good for a first finished level. A lot of people's first finished levels aren't usually as good as this, so yeah, I'm gonna give it credit where credit's due. This level's pretty good for a first finished level. Anyways, in terms of enjoyment, I gave Crystal by Zeronium a 4 out of 10. I didn't really necessarily truly not enjoy the gameplay in this level at all. I found that it was pretty decent and good in some places, but my experience with the level just dragged down my enjoyment a lot. Like a lot. No, but still, the gameplay is pretty cool in some parts. I like the pre-drop a lot, and I liked some of the parts in the drop. I didn't like a lot of the choke points because they were really noticeable, especially from Zero, and it was just annoying to die there consistently. I'm the type of person to enjoy choke points. I usually don't mind them, like the wave and Fexty. I think the wave and Fexty is really cool. But the problem with Crystal is that a lot of the choke points just come in bursts, and that's not a good type of choke point. I think a choke point part should be longer than like 5 seconds. This part doesn't have a single part that's like longer than 5 seconds. In terms of decoration, I gave Crystal by Zeronium a 6 out of 10. This is mostly because it uses like a glow style, and I don't really care for glow style that much. The decoration's alright. I mean, it does what it has to do to, like, you know, get the level rated and whatever, but still, I just think the decoration in general is pretty average. But the thing I will say is I really did like the ground spike designs. I like when levels use, like, a lot of ground spikes. I'm a big art core nerd, so... yeah, I really like the ground spike designs in this level. They're pretty good. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say for Crystal. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you really like my videos, you can join my membership. It's only 99 cents a month, and you get early access to videos and all that stuff when I do upload. But yeah, nonetheless, that was all I have for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.